What's happening, everyone? We're looking at an upside down Traxxas TRX4 Bronco body. Getting ready to put some lights in it. It came equipped with sockets for the rear running lights, rear brake light, and backup light on both sides. Socket for the side marker light, amber colored, but no sockets for the headlights or the turn signals. Basically just unscrewed the grille from the body, unscrewed the headlights from the grille, and put the headlight piece, this little black piece, or the backing piece, in a drill press, and just drilled out where the center of the headlight would be on both parts here. There's like a bulb on the sticker on both ends, so I just lined up the drill bit with the bulb and drilled a hole through it, separating that plastic backing piece from the headlight. That way you're not actually drilling through the lenses. The lenses here were clear to begin with, and then I used a orange Sharpie and colored them orange on the inside, an orange neon Sharpie. And it worked perfect. Nice color on it. Learned that from RC Sparks. Aaron did that in one of his videos. Works out great. Looks awesome. Great idea, Aaron. Much appreciated. So we're going to put some lights in it right now. Put everything back together. Screwed it all back down. So this is where we're going to be popping in our lights. 5mm LEDs on these two holes. 3mm on the marker lights front and rear. Then I'm going to use some hot glue gun and glue the bulbs in place on the back half. With the bulbs, you have to make sure that you bend the leads down as far as you can, or else you're going to have trouble clearing the front fenders on the TRX4 Bronco. And that is right here, is where you'll have trouble clearing. So you have to make sure to bend those light wires up so you can clear it better. Right now I'm currently using a 4AA pack. It's velcroed down to the front plate here to power up my lights with a light switch right here. Now, I had already put lights in my Bronco previously. Trial and error. Only ones that I'm missing are the 3mm side marker lights. I still need to get a set for that. But the back lights and side marker lights just pop right into a socket. 5mm for the tail lights, 3mm for the side marker lights. And right now I'm currently using a red Sharpie, just a standard red Sharpie, to color these white LEDs red. Yeah, it's not focusing on that, but you know what I'm talking about. And that's for these lights right here. The 3mm lights that I was using are these right here. And when it comes to actually installing the light bulbs and putting them in here, these have these little plastic tabs on the top and bottom half. If you just kind of lightly push down on one of the tabs as you're inserting the bulb, it snaps in real easy on all these lights. These ones right here, you just be pulling off to the side a little bit before plugging the light in, and they go in smooth as silk. And the Tamiya lights came with these little wire clips here. A little bit of adhesive double-sided tape on the back edge. So I'm probably going to use a couple of these to attach the wires on the back. Probably use duct tape on the front though. Some black Gorilla tape. Alright, so I'm getting ready to put in the tail lights here. I'm not using the backup light bulb, so I'm not putting anything in that socket. All I need is two bulbs for each brake light. So the brake light bulbs, the headlight bulbs, and the lower turn signal bulbs are all 5mm. I'm using these Yeah Racing 5mm LED light set LK-0009WT is a part number. And these are white, so the brake lights, I'm going to be painting those red. Headlights are going in white, but the lower turn signals, these guys down here, those will be getting painted orange with the orange neon Sharpie. This guy right here. And you know what, guys? The 3mm light set, I didn't even look at it. They are red. I colored them red anyways, so I guess they're going to be extra red. But there's a part number for these, OP-1009. So OP-1009. Alright guys, so I do have the lights plugged into the socket, and I'm not going to lie to you, that was a pain in the butt. I mean, it was kind of easy, pain in the butt trying to stay quiet in the middle of the night while you're sitting in your kitchen with people sleeping in the house. So yeah, it was a little bit touch and go there, trying to be on the quiet side, but relatively easy to get those in. Got all our wires grouped together here, going to solder on a new connector, so just kind of running them like they are for the moment, and going to start working on the front ones now. Sorry about the bad camera angles, guys. Alright, so we got another set of Yeah Racing light bulbs here, 5mm white. These are going to be used on the front headlights. This one's a little bit close to the hold down screw, so gonna have to do a little trimming there to get this guy to fit. Perfect. Just use a drill bit and kind of spun it backwards a little bit, just to get that little bit of an edge trimmed off on that plastic piece right there, so the bulb slid in nice. I'm going to use hot glue around the back edge of this to glue these bulbs in along with these. Once again, you want to push these electrical tabs down gently after you get them all put together. And you don't want to gob up too much hot glue up here because you need this room for clearing the front fender on the inside of the chassis. So you need to bend the tabs down and don't put too much hot glue on this bulb. You could probably put more on the top edge, but you still need to leave room to bend these tabs down. So you got to be kind of sparing with the hot glue for the turn signal ends. Alright, so both the headlights are in position. Getting out the last package here of white LED bulbs, 5mm. Gonna be painting these orange once again with an orange neon Sharpie. Haven't hot glued the front ones in yet. Gonna wait until I get them all in there and ready to go before I plug in the hot glue gun. Now I'm probably going to wait a few minutes for this orange Sharpie to set up on here, and then probably give it another coat just to darken them up a little bit. I didn't do that on my headlights. I left mine white, and you can just, if you're really looking, you can see the white behind the orange lens. So on the second go around, I'm definitely painting these orange, or marking them orange. Alright guys, it's been a few minutes. I got a couple coats of orange on there. Making sure to cover as much of the white as you can, or much of the clear plastic that you can on here. Even around the back edges and around the side on the bottom. Trying to eliminate as much clear as you possibly can. Alright, so they're in there, but they're not glued in there, so I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue and put them around these to hold them in place. And then I'm going to bend all these tabs down this way to try to get them out of the wheel well for the inner fender wells on the chassis itself, so everything clears. Mine was binding up a little bit, and when you put the body on, it wouldn't drop down far enough to get the hood pins in all the way, so I found out that it was snagging right here on these tabs, or these wires. Sorry if you can't really see the angle of that, guys. Oh, she's tipping. Got a little carried away with that one. Once again, you want to keep these kind of thin on this side because you need to bend these tabs upward into the body to allow clearance for that fender well. Another thing, guys, when you're coloring that lens, when you take out this lens and you start coloring it with that Sharpie on the inside, you want to get as much of that lens as you possibly can on the inside of it itself. On these little orange, on the little clear tabs that stick up, that goes through the body here. You pretty much want to get all of those, and like the whole surface, upper surface area of that lens. That way, any light being shined through or shown through will be orange. So you don't want to leave any gaps out when you're coloring the inside of this lens right here. Not the outside, but the inside and around the outer diameter of the inside, or the outside of the inside, if that makes any sense. The top side of it. Now the headlights, there's plenty of clearance on those, so you really don't have to worry about these too much. Unless you're just trying to conform the wiring, so you might want to bend them down or over or something to make them conform a little bit easier for running the wires up against the body. But other than that, you really don't need to mess with the headlights too much as far as for clearing the inner fender wells. Just the turn signals down here. Alright guys, the lights are all in, hot glued in place. Turn signal lights are colored orange with an orange neon Sharpie. Headlights are still white. Still need a couple 3mm bulbs here for the side indicator lights. Backlights are all in place. 3mm red LEDs, 5mm red LEDs, 3 for the side marker, 5 for the tail light, 5mm for a backup light if you were to use that. You have some black electrical tape or Gorilla tape holding the mess of wires in place. All the wires in the front come together, run down the A pillar or B pillar here. A little piece of tape going over top of that, all the way along up to this connector right here, which is a Futaba connector. From there, it's going to be going to a micro switch, which will be installed on the truck itself. And I'm currently charging up an old radio control car battery pack that I'm going to use for a power supply for these lights. And here's the battery pack that I'm using, the 4.8 volt EasyTech NiCad rechargeable, basically just 4 AA's there. Using my high-tech multi-charger here to charge that up. Charging it at 1 amp. I have a Velcro strap here on the front. This is where that battery is going to sit. I'm probably going to route the switch, the on-off switch back here on the inside of the fender well, so you can just pull out the body a little bit, stick your finger in there to turn the lights on and off. Traxxas does make a power supply that gets bolted on here, gets plugged into the ESC, and then also gets plugged into the receiver. And then it has a distribution spot here for all the Traxxas lights. I do have that power supply, guys. Just haven't hooked it up. I'll probably wait until they actually come out with an LED set for this, and then go that route before I end up using the Traxxas power supply. And here's a look at the Traxxas power supply. 8028 part number. Look at what it looks like right there. Once again, this gets plugged into the ESC and it gets plugged into the receiver. And then you can plug all your lights directly into here instead. And this gets bolted up, like I said, right here. Is where that sits. So that will be used in the future. But for right now, just for a basic LED set, a homemade LED set, we're using the Yeah Racing bulbs and the Tamiya bulbs just to get some basic LEDs on this truck until Traxxas actually comes out with a set for it. And just a little side note, I've already upgraded the servos on both trucks, my truck and my brother's truck, to a Savox SW0231MG waterproof servo. My stock Traxxas servo stopped working on the 3rd day. My brother's is still working, but I put a couple Savoxes in just for reliability purposes. I did have to reverse the servo after putting that in, and that required downloading the manual for the Traxxas controller. And after you download the manual for the controller, there's actually a whole bunch of different things that you can do on the controller. You can set the endpoints, you can set the exponential, you can reverse the servos. There's just all kinds of stuff that you can do with the radio after you download the manual. SW0231MG. Alright guys, the battery is charged. I've got it sitting in place. Wires are kind of ran and just taking up slack for the moment, so excuse the mess. This is just for testing. Micro switch mounted here on the inside of the fender, so you can just stick your finger through and key on the lights. And we're going to set the body on it and see if the lights work. Alright guys, we got the body on, we got the lights plugged in. Lights are on, everything's plugged in, and it seems to be working, guys. We've got our tail lights, we've got our running lights. Still don't have the side marker lights up there. Need to get the 3mm bulbs for that, but that'll be the last thing to go in. But this just basically shows you a quick and easy way to put lights, LED lights, in your truck without actually buying a light kit. Just buying the LED bulbs, drilling out the headlights accordingly, and then getting everything in place. Little view there with the lights out. See in the back of the truck. Rear side marker lights. And of course the headlights. So there you go, guys. Basic LED light set. Like I said, Traxxas is probably going to make a set for the headlights, but if you don't have the money to go out and buy the Traxxas set, if you have some old LEDs laying around, it's very easy to rig up your own lights to this truck. So there's a basic idea on how to do it. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Jim from RC After Dark, and we'll see you all on the next video. Thanks again.